The 172d Airlift Wing is a unit of the Mississippi Air National Guard, stationed at Allen C.Thompson Field Air National Guard Base, Mississippi. If activated to federal service, the wing is gained by the United States Air Force Air Mobility Command. Mission. Media related to 172d Airlift Wing at Wikimedia Commons. The 172nd Airlift Wing operates the Boeing C-17 Globemaster III, and has participated in an all-volunteer partial activation since 2005, flying weekly missions to return wounded patients of the military safely back to the United States. Also, the 172d Airlift Wing provides the state of Mississippi support in the event of national emergency, maintains peace and order, and supports civil defense and pre-attack planning. Units. The 172d Airlift Wing consists of the following units: 172d Operations Group, 183d Airlift Squadron, 183d Aeromedical Evacuation Squadron, 172d Maintenance Group, 172d Mission Support Group, 172d Medical Group. History. In December 1963, the Mississippi 183d Air Transport Squadron was authorized to expand into a group which would include the 183d and supporting organizations, and the 172d Air Transport Group was established. The 183d became the new group's flying squadron. The support units assigned into the group were the 183d Material Squadron, 183d Airbase Squadron, and the 183d USAF Dispensary, flying Lockheed C-121 Constellations at the time of its activation. The group soon converted to Douglas C-124C Globemaster II heavy intercontinental airlift aircraft in 1966, which meant supplies and equipment could be carried around the world along with the personnel the Constellations could carry. The C-124 was being retired in the early 1970s, and the 172d Airlift mission was changed to theater support, as it equipped with Lockheed C-130E Hercules aircraft in May 1972. It upgraded to new C-130H aircraft in 1980 and continued to fly tactical airlift missions until the mid-1980s. On the 12th of July 1986, the group returned to the strategic airlift role when the first Lockheed C-141B Starlifter to be released from active duty Air Force control was assigned. With a total of 8 aircraft, the unit began its new mission. In March 1988, the 172d took part in the airlift of approximately 3,200 troops and almost 1,000 tons of cargo on an exercise to Palmala Air Base, Honduras. The 172d was the only Air National Guard unit that participated in this airlift to Honduras. On the 6th of December 1988, the Soviet Republic of Armenia suffered a powerful earthquake. The first Air Guard aircraft to fly to Armenia was a C-141B from the 172d. Before relief missions ended, the 172d flew 6 missions with its own planes and crew, and furnished a crew to fly a United States Air Force C-141 whose crew could not continue, because they had reached the maximum number of flying hours to continue safe operations. In September 1989, a devastating hurricane struck the tiny island of St. Croix, leaving the island crippled. The 172d flew 11 emergency relief missions, hauling 460 65 tons of cargo and 472 passengers. From the 20th of December 1989 to the 12th of January 1990, the 172D flew 21 sorties in support of Operation Just Cause, the incursion into Panama to replace Manuel Noriega's ruler. Cargo transported during the operation amounted to 403.6 tons and 1,274 passengers were airlifted. On the 7th of August 1990, the 172D's support of Operations Desert Shield and Desert Storm began when aircrew members started flying voluntary missions. Approximately 98 aircrew members flew these missions before the 24th of August 1990, when the 183D Military Airlift Squadron was activated. The 183D was one of the first two reserve and guard units to be activated. By May 1991, the 148 members of the 183D had flown 2,880 sorties, which transported 15,837 passengers and 25,949.2 tons of cargo. In 2000, the C-141C with electronic glass cockpit was phased into service with the group. In October 2000, after the Ascol bombing in Aden, 17 members of the 172D deployed to Ramstein Air Base, Germany. Members of the 183D Aeromedical Evacuation and 183D Airlift Squadrons picked up 4 sailors from Ramstein and flew them home to Norfolk Naval Station. In February 2003, the 172D retired its last C-141C Starlifter in preparation for the arrival of the Wing's first Boeing C-17 Globemaster III. On the 17th of December 2003, Lt. Gen. Daniel James III, Director, Air National Guard, handed off the keys to the first Globemaster III to Marge. Gen. James H. Lipscomb III, Adjutant General of the Mississippi National Guard. The plane was the first Globemaster III assigned to the Air National Guard and was named the Spirit of the Minutemen. Lineage. Established as the 172D Air Transport Group, Heavy, and allotted to the Air National Guard on the 16th of December 1963. Activated in December 1963 and extended federal recognition. Redesignated 172D Airlift Wing on 1 October 1995. Assignments: Mississippi Air National Guard, 1 July 1965 present. Gaining commands: Air Mobility Command, 1 June 1992 present. Components: 172D Operations Group, 1 October 1995 present. 183D Air Transport Squadron, December 1963 – 1 October 1995. Stations: Hawkins Field, December 1963. Allen C. Thompson Field, Mississippi, 1 July 1965. Elements operated from